I want to take a minute to talk about Damar Hamlin. And if you're one of these sensitive types who looks at everything emotionally, just go down in the comments, call me a jerk, and move along. You don't need to hear this. But what the NFL did was they screwed up the whole playoffs for the AFC for the season. The reason being is in the game in question between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, the top three seeds were really on the line. And now we don't know who should be who because two of the teams did not play a complete season. Now, what the NFL keeps saying is that Damar Hamlin's life is more important than a game of football. They are correct. But that is a false dichotomy that they're putting forth. See, we didn't have to choose between caring about Damar Hamlin and playing a game of football because the football teams are not the ones who are saving Damar Hamlin's life. It was the doctors in the hospital. So the teams could have very well played the game of football while the doctors saved his life, and we could have cared about both things at the same time. We could have gotten updates. Now, I understand it's hard on the players to play through a game when your friend has just been carted off the field and you don't know what's going to happen to him. I get that, but every team has had to deal with this. If not this season, within the past 5 years, every team has had a serious injury where they didn't know what was going to happen to their friend, and yet they had to play through that game. And that is exactly what should have happened between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills so that we weren't sitting here looking at a scenario where we're supposed to now trust the NFL, I guess, like Roger Goodell. We're supposed to trust the guy. Like, well, if things get too weird, we'll fix it and we'll play teams on neutral sites. Come on now. I obviously don't trust the NFL to fix anything. They're the ones that screwed it up. Why would I trust them to fix it? This is not how this should have gone down. Now, I do care about Damar Hamlin's life. And as a matter of fact, the NFL saved Damar Hamlin's life. First off, if Damar Hamlin was just some schmuck who lived in Buffalo who had a heart attack while shoveling his driveway, you wouldn't even know who he was. Okay? The only reason why you know who he is because he plays football. And if he had had that heart attack while shoveling his driveway, he would have died face down in a snowbank. But because it happened on an NFL field where there were medical personnel standing by who could treat him at the scene and an ambulance waiting in the wings to take him into the hospital, Damar Hamlin is alive today. Now, the NFL says they care more about his life than football, but for some reason, the following week, while he was still in critical condition in the very same hospital, they went ahead and played the next game. Why? If his life is more important than the game, why don't we wait to see how things turn out? Now, the fact of the matter is, you might get upset by what I'm saying, but when Damar Hamlin came to, the words out of his mouth were, "Did we win?" See, even Damar Hamlin, who had had a heart attack and been lying there unconscious, had more sense than Roger Goodell. He knew what was important in that moment. Did we win? Yes, his life is important. So is a game. You can care about two things at once.